and live on YouTube and waiting for Instagram. Go live. Perfect. All right, we are streaming live. Period. So let me just set everything up. Welcome to Glam Girl 101. We're in the house tonight and we're talking about makeup. Makeup is a weapon. We're going to go through attendance quickly. Just waiting for everybody to get in here. It looks like we got, let's see, Call Me Tropicana on Insta. Hey girl, first one in class. Attendance grade today? A plus, period. All right. So you know what it is. We are in week 4 of Glam Girl 101. Where's my syllabus? Hello. And where's my badge? Here we are. I am your professor. Let me get closer so you can see. Yeah. Check the credentials. Don't be late for class. Now that you've arrived, let's get you up to date with what's going on. So we're in week 4 and we're talking about makeup. So makeup is a weapon. It's not a mask for those of you who don't wear makeup and think that you deserve an award. No, ma'am. Why aren't you wearing your super suit? Exactly. Your face is your business card. Glam Girl 101 is a course that I created. Your professor, Banks, and I created this because God really forced me to. I was sitting on all these hidden talents. Professor Kayleese loves to talk about talents. And the Lord instructed me to go ahead and showcase my talents in order for me to help, assist, support beautiful women like yourself who are brilliant from the inside out. I want to help you shift your identity, make a radical change to be who you've always been meant to be, who you've always known you were, and decide no longer to hide but to be seen. So, with this course, we're doing this just that. Sorry, words are hard. Join us on Insta if you're looking for the syllabus. If you're looking for any live recaps, you can go to YouTube. All of the live recordings from every class that you missed is up and available. Today is going to be a crazy class, my dear, and I'm glad that you're here. Let's see if we have our YouTube audience pulled up. I didn't even check the chat yet. Let's see. All right, looks like we got some people coming in from YouTube. Checking on Insta. Oh, Jasmine Williams and Nurse Sapphire is also here, period. So, boy, do I have a treat for you. I'm going to quickly do attendance. So, don't think if I'm in the background, I'm not paying attention to who's here and who has also left. Don't think you're getting an A in attendance if you leave class. Okay. Kayleese is our makeup instructor. Your girl knows a lot about makeup, but there's someone who is an expert in glam. And she's about to pull up and teach you about, I don't even want to say too much. I'm going to let her take over and pull up. Are y'all ready for Kayleese? If you're ready, say ready. I want to see it in the Insta chat. I want to see it in the YouTube chat. If you're ready, say ready. And I'm about to pull her up. Let's go, Kayleese. My girl, you ready? It looks like we got 12 people on YouTube who just pulled up on us. We got 4 of our students over here on Insta. They're getting in here. So hopefully they don't get in too late and they miss your beginning of class. All right, girl. Let's go.
Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. And I just want to say, guys, I am so honored to be a part of Glam Girl 101, hun, because let me tell you something about Miss Professor Antoinette. I love her. I am so supportive of what she's doing because it's definitely needed. And we're going to have some talk about glam. We're definitely going to talk about glam today. And before I really get into the makeup, I do want to just give you guys a little background about who I am and what I believe in and my core values when it comes to beauty. So I do believe that true beauty is an outward expression of an attractive spirit. Okay, so just like our professor said, that is your super suit. Okay, we're not going to give you a gold star for, oh, I don't wear makeup because I don't need it. We know we don't need it, but it doesn't hurt. It is the icing on the cake. So, I have been doing makeup for almost a decade now. I love it. I love it. I do makeup for pageants, photo shoot, and just for the everyday woman who just wants to elevate the look. Okay. So now, as we talk about beauty, hey everyone, I can see the chat now. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, and thank you guys for having me. But before I get started, I do want to ask, and you guys can let me know in the chat. I want to know what are some of your like hangups when it comes to creating your signature look, or when it comes to makeup application. What are some things that you're kind of like, I'm lost. I don't know where to start. I really want to know. So in the meantime, I do want to expand on that, just knowing that as a woman, and when you really like get into your beauty, you have to have a signature look. You have to have a signature look. You have to have that go-to. Because I know I live day to day, and I don't know, maybe I'm delusional, but I am a supermodel in my brain. You guys, I'm a supermodel. So that means no matter how much time I have to get ready, okay, I don't care if I have 10 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. But no matter how much time I have to get ready and I have to represent who I am. I have to represent my Heavenly Father, and I have to show up authentically as me. Okay, so I pretend I'm at behind the scenes of a fashion show. You guys, if I only have like 20 minutes to get ready, like I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. So when we really get into a makeup blend or picking your signature look, where we have to start is skin. We have to start with skin. It all starts with skin because as we're doing makeup, you really want to have the best base. So we also, let me see, Alicia. Thank you, Alicia. She says contour. We can definitely talk about contour. I'm going to make a note because that's something that I definitely want to break down. Awesome, awesome. So, skincare, you really have to know your skin. Okay, so you have to know if your skin is dry. You have to know if your skin is oily, or if you only get dry or oily in certain spaces on your face. Because once you prep your skin for what it needs, the makeup application is so much easier. So, and I actually had a trainer who told me the more you put on your skin of what you need or what you can't see, the less you have to put on your skin of what you can see. So the skincare is what we necessarily can't see all the time because it does absorb into our skin. But whenever you prep that skin to perfection, you'll see that you really only have to use a little bit of product when it comes to your foundation and the application of the rest of your products. So, creating that signature look, that skincare is definitely a part of that. Okay, so the skin, and then we can go into the base. We talked about prepping, and when it comes to the base, of course, we have our foundation. Now, as you can tell, or as I told you guys earlier, I feel like I'm a supermodel. And one thing I think about is when the models are going down the runway, and whenever we see those iconic looks, when you look at their face, you can still see their skin. So I'm here to tell you, you probably don't need full coverage. That's one of my most important tips. You might not need full coverage foundation, okay? Because also, like our professor said, it's not a mask. We're not trying to completely cover and restructure who we are. We're truly just amplifying and bringing out who we already are. So before I kind of elaborate on that even further, I do want to look at the comments. So we already have contour. Call Me Tropicana says being consistent and knowing a time and place when to wear makeup. Okay, awesome. So, and I do want to touch on that. Being consistent, I love that. So just like I was talking about earlier, before you step out the door, you want to have a look that you want to present. Like literally, the world is your runway. So it's however you choose to present yourself that day. Now you don't have to go into full glam. You don't have to do a full soft beat, but there are certain things that you can do day to day to just elevate your look. Like, what is that signature lip gloss that you're going to put on? Okay, like how are you going to truly bring out your eyes and make them pop? Like, what's the mascara you're grabbing? So honestly, a time and a place is really where you choose to show up, where you choose to just have that makeup as a part of your look. So I honestly suggest having that type of makeup when, okay, like I'm just running errands today. So I really want to give fresh skin, glossy lips, a glow. And then, okay, I'm going to this event tonight. So I want to step it up. I want something a little bit more, maybe black tie, something that's going to go with a ball gown. It really just, there is kind of a spectrum. You really have your more closer to um, your natural appearance, like your natural face and how it naturally occurs. And then you go to full glam. Full glam, although my principle is with your makeup, you're bringing out the features that you already have. You're going to have more coverage. You're going to have more colors that you're using to complement your features. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So we talked about skin and we touched on the base. My One of my philosophies, and we just kind of touched on that, just saying like you probably don't need full coverage foundation. If you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I want the full coverage foundation because I really just want to cover my hyperpigmentation. No worries. Let me tell you what to do. So, besides already prepping your skin, what you're going to do is you're going to find a good corrector. So, what the corrector does, especially when you have hyperpigmentation, and you guys can let me know in the chat if this has ever happened to you. Okay. You find a concealer and you're like, I'm going to use this to cover the hyperpigmentation on my face. So you add it to your skin, you add it to your makeup routine, and you're like, man, in the store, I love that concealer, but I feel like I can see right through it. I still see my dark circles. It's almost like a shadow. But that's because you probably need a color corrector to help just really neutralize the skin. Okay. So the corrector and then picking a good concealer. Honestly, I feel like all girls should have at least two concealers in their arsenal. You're going to want one concealer that is going to be about the same color or maybe one shade lighter than your complexion. Okay. That's going to be your concealer that you run to when you're like, okay, I'm running errands, but like, let me just brighten up the under eye. Let me just do a little something where I don't have to put on my foundation. Just something that's going to give me a little coverage. That's the first concealer. And then the second concealer is going to be one that brightens, one that highlights. Okay. So, and I think this is also going to help. Yes, I need a good color corrector. I'm going to give you guys some suggestions as well, some that I kind of run to. Color corrector. But yes, I'm going to touch on the color corrector and then I'm also going to come back and kind of break down that highlighting and contour aspect because I know earlier we had Alicia ask about contour. So I didn't forget about you, Alicia. I'm coming right back around to you, babe. So when it comes to color correcting, some recommendations that I could give you guys. I know one that I run to is the LA Girl concealer. And they have an orange. They have a green. Okay. And really you just choose those depending on color theory. Like for brown skin, you probably will notice different makeup artists using orange concealer, red concealer. Okay, so the LA Girl Pro Concealer, they have the orange and they have the red. But using those tones on brown skin where there's hyperpigmentation is going to help to neutralize that skin so that once you do put your makeup on top, you're not seeing the hyperpigmentation through your makeup. So I hope that makes sense. And now to come back to highlighting and contouring. So highlighting and contouring, when it comes to highlighting, When you highlight something, it's bringing it forward. Okay. So when you look at your natural skin, like your natural face, when you look at your face, we're not all just one color. Like I'm not just one shade of brown, right? So, and whenever you think about that, you actually do have parts of your face where you are a little brighter, and you have parts of your face where, because you have like cheekbones for example, you will see a little shadow. Okay, so you guys see I did bronze, so that is a part of contouring. In essence, contouring and bronzing, what it does is it brings color and dimension back to your face. Contour brings out shadows. Contour brings out shadows. So highlights bring whatever you highlight forward. Whenever you contour, that's going to create shadow. So, whenever we talk about being snatched to the gods, okay? Like, that's what the girls say, like, snatched up, or I want my cheekbone fitting. When you add that contour, that is creating a shadow. So it's giving you a little bit more, like it's taking away a couple pounds. It's snatching you up, right? So that's just an
I love you so
easy
bad for
way to
that.
bring some dimension to your face, and some shape, some color and dimension back to your skin. So, oh yay, sis came to watch. Thank you. And shout out to everybody on YouTube. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate y'all. She said, oh, thanks for inviting her. Guys, thank you. I'm really honored to be here. So I hope everybody's following me so far. We talked about skin. We talked about the base, how to color correct as well to get the perfect flawless base where you can still use like medium coverage. And actually, if you guys have questions about coverage and you don't understand like the difference between sheer coverage, medium coverage, full coverage, let me know in the chat and I can touch on that as well. But something else I want to talk about, since we already talked about prepping the skin, getting your base down, we want to talk about, and we also talked about highlighting contour. I think we're making some pretty good ground. I want to talk about eyes, lips, face. Okay. Whenever you're creating a look, those are kind of like the boxes that you check off. Okay. See, I know you guys know the brand Elf. They have some products that are some bangers. Okay. But Elf stands for eyes, lips, face. So now that you've already kind of have like your base routine set up, the way that you elevate the look, and just like we talked about, like going to different events or knowing when to wear what, that's how you're going to take your look from, okay, just running errands, just something very light coverage, to, okay, I'm going here. This is the look. I got my pink blazer on. I'm going to wear this lipstick. Okay. You're going to curate your look with eyes, lips, and face. So when it comes to eyes, so of course for your signature look, you're going to have that signature eyeshadow that you go to. Now, for example, my signature eyeshadow that I will just throw on and I really don't need anything else is Saddle Eyeshadow by MAC. It's a beautiful brown that's probably like maybe 2 shades darker than my complexion. But I can put that all over my eyes. It adds a little bit of color, but it's also going to complement anything else I have on my face. So eyes, and then also when we talk about the eyes, we talk about brows. You guys, your brows frame your face. I don't know if you guys ever catch yourself when you're looking at somebody or you meet somebody new for the first time. It's like your eyes kind of go to their forehead and you look at their eyebrows. I know I'm like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Her brows, the brows really shape the face. Okay. It kind of frames the way that you see the person's eyes or just the rest of the shapes in their face. So when it comes to eyes, or when your brows, you want to make sure, if possible, you're keeping them polished, or whenever I say polished, I mean you're keeping them waxed. If you prefer waxing, you're keeping them threading. Because once you go in with your products, if you already have a clear shape of what your brows look like, it's going to make it 10 times easier to fill in. And if you want to highlight that brow bone, it's going to make it so much easier. And then liner and lashes. So liner and lashes also elevate your look. So I'm not huge on lashes. Now I will give the girls a good lash when we have a glam look, okay? But day to day, I love an amazing mascara and a lash primer all day. All day. That will bring those lashes out and give you a fuller look, give you more length. As far as eyeliner, you definitely have to think about how you really want your eyes to stand out. So if you're using black, it definitely is going to, I will say, it will add to the glam. It definitely will because it's such a contrast between your eye color and that black. But say you want something a little bit softer, I love to go for a brown. It's subtle, but it still highlights the eyes, especially if you do have brown eyes or dark eyes. Even if you have hazel eyes, a nice brown will definitely complement and bring the attention to your eyes, your natural eyes. So we love that. Love a brown liner. So that was us kind of touching on brows. Do you guys have, or eyes? I'm sorry, eyes, because we talked about having that signature eyeshadow that you can just throw on. Like you can just put all over your lid and be good to go. We also kind of touched on grooming the brows and making it easier on you to actually fill them in, like by keeping them groomed. We talked about liner and lashes as well. And something I do want to say, and I was going to touch at this on this towards the end, but we'll talk about this later as well, is that whenever it comes to like your signature look, it gets better with time, you guys. It takes practice. So my for myself, I actually work for MAC Cosmetics. I run a MAC counter, so I'm helping women all the time kind of find those products that are going to go into their signature look that they can just grab when they know they have something to do, somewhere to go. They're like, let me throw this on. I know this look is going to eat every time. Okay. So when in that case, when it comes to building those products for your signature look, it really, you'll start to feel yourself, or you'll start to feel that muscle memory when you have those go-to products and you're practicing and you're learning your face. That is what's going to help you get the perfect signature look. Because guys, like when I have a woman come in, when I have a client come to me and ask for help, I can show you the tools, and I do like to help people in one area at a time so that we're not trying to do everything at one time, but that we can build a little bit at a time. It's going to take practice. The better you get to know your face and your features, the better that signature look is going to come out. So, because remember, um, and of course, like what I do is still based on the principles of our Heavenly Father, okay? Because if we were created in His image, there should be no reason or so no need for us to have to change the way that we look. We're just celebrating and highlighting the features that we naturally have. So the more that you learn the features that you have, like, okay, I have beautiful almond eyes, my eyes slant upwards, my eyes slant downwards, my cheekbones sit high. Whenever you really learn your features, and you learn how to just emphasize them and highlight them in the most beautiful way, that's when you're going to realize like the signature look is only taking me 15 minutes, 10 minutes because you already know your face. So I just want to encourage. I know we're dropping a lot of gems, a lot of techniques, and we're talking about a lot of different things when it comes to makeup, but just know like practice. The way that I got started with creating looks, different makeup looks, was just sitting in my dorm room. My roommate and her friends would come in and be like, "Girl, where are you going?" Nowhere. I just wanted to practice. So when I do have somewhere to go, I know the look that I want to give, right? So we've talked about skin. We talked about the skin prep. We talked about our base. We talked about some color correcting. We touched on eyes, you guys, as well. We talked about highlights. We've talked about contour as well. And if there's anything that I've talked about and you're like, can you expound on that a little bit more? Please let me know in the comments. I am looking at the comments. And I thank you guys for coming on and just participating and letting me know the things that you are still working on when it comes to your makeup or the things that you have questions about. So thanks for that, guys. So next, I wanted to also touch on blush, especially since we talked about highlight and contour. Blush. Do not be afraid of blush because just like we talked about, our skin not actually having or not being all one color. After we put that base on and it kind of neutralizes the skin, we want to bring that color and dimension back to our face. So that's what the blush does. Like, when your skin is flushed, like somebody makes you feel shy or anything, like, and you have that natural blush. So you're really just bringing those colors back. Blush is still a natural thing, you guys. It's still a natural thing, but of course, we're just putting a little bit more emphasis on it whenever we add it to our makeup routine. So, and let me just break and look at the comments. So, Nurse Sapphire, hey girl, she said, how do we properly match our foundation shade? And how do we know if we should use liquid versus a stick foundation? My brows are my problem area. Okay, thank you, girl. Thank you so much for that, Nurse Sapphire. So, how do we properly match our foundation shade? So, what I would say, if you can get to a beauty counter where you have like beauty professionals that can actually help you, that is their job to help you find their foundation shade, right? And something else I'm going to say, because I know I hear girls all the time that come to me and they say, I got matched here and I don't like the shade, I feel like I look orange. You can ask for a sample. You can ask for a sample, you guys, and I actually highly recommend it because the sample, you're actually going to be able to take it home. You're going to be able to put it all over and see how you look at home in your lighting, outside in your lighting. You can try for a couple of days to see, okay, does this feel like me? Or do I feel like the shade is a little off? I might need this to be a little lighter. I might need a little bit more golden tones. So I would honestly say don't be scared to go to like a beauty advisor. um, that's like a super shortcut. But if you're not able to do that, you're gonna want to do some swatching. Now, if you do some swatching, I would recommend doing swatching along the jawline. Okay, this is one of my favorite places to swatch because not only are you going to be able to see the color against your face, the skin on your face, you're going to see it near your neck as well, right? But you blend that down, and whichever one, I would say let it set. Pick maybe three colors at least. Swatch them, let them set. And if you have like a facial spray, like a mist, spraying that area and letting it oxidize, that spray will actually help that the foundation oxidize a little bit more so you see how it's going to look when your natural oils come through. So that's another way that you can do it as well. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad, Nurse Sapphire. And somebody asked my name. My name is Kaylee's, Professor Kaylee's. And okay, so I just wanted to see if I had any more questions from you guys. What is a good makeup white brand or oil? I don't want any new breakouts. I feel you, girl. So, what I recommend, I love the MAC wipes. Okay. And yes, I do work for them, but I work for them because they do have products that I trust. That are hypoallergenic as well, so they're good for sensitive skin. And honestly, I feel like all skin is sensitive. We should treat all skin like it's sensitive for real. Um, so I love the MAC wipes. And hey, we love a Neutrogena moment, okay? The Neutrogena wipes in the blue packs, those are amazing. And you guys, Walmart makes some as well. Equate, the they are very comparable to the Neutrogena wipes, I will say. But you definitely gonna want to use a wipe that normally if they have micellar water in it, those are really good as well. We like micellar water because what it does is it helps to break down the makeup. And also, it's sensitive on the skin to where it doesn't strip your skin of all the natural oils. Like, we don't want to take everything off, and now it's like you feel like your skin is tight, like you need to hydrate immediately, although that we are. So, yes, this is the picture of the micellar water wipes from MAC. We love them down. They feel amazing. They get everything off. And like I said, they're still amazing for sensitive skin. So thank you, Professor, for putting that up. I really appreciate you. And then, oh, she also asked about like oils, like a good cleansing oil. I love, love, love the Hyper Real cleansing oil from MAC. So the Hyper Real line is amazing because of the ingredients. So there is an oil that you literally use it to massage the makeup off. Like, you use it, you just literally massage it into the skin. And then once you actually rinse your face with water, it's like it grabs everything off and it just takes it. Like, I'm trying to explain like the emulsification process, but we know oil and water doesn't mix. So, of course, it's not going to mix into it. It's going to pull all that makeup off of your skin once you rinse it. So, definitely, definitely. Those are some of my favorite products. And also the Hyper Real collection. Um, One of my favorite things about it is the Japanese peony petal. Like, it's only harvested like once a year. So, but their product actually helped to like clear my skin, to make my skin a little bit more radiant. I did feel like my skin got a little dull at one point, but it does help to even and balance the skin. So those are some products I love. And then I'm also going to be real with you guys too. You can use a little coconut oil. When in doubt, you can always use coconut oil. Yes, the fresh canvas cleansing oil. Y'all, my jam. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But yes, when in doubt, coconut oil will definitely help you to break down that makeup and get it off as well. For sure. Cool, cool. So I think I got all the questions that we had so far. And like I said, you guys keep them coming. If I'm saying, or if I touched on something and you're like, can we just expound on it a little bit? Just let me know. Say, hey, Professor K, can you touch on this a little bit more? Or let me know, because I am looking at the comments for you guys too. So we touched on blush as well. Oh, and
Do
something I
you
wanted to help you guys with when it comes to blush application, blush, highlight, and contour. When you look at the cheek, you want to think about this as being like a stack. Okay, you have your contour that's going to be the shadow underneath your cheekbone, right? And then you have the highlight that you usually sit on top of the cheek, wherever the light really hits and bounce off your skin the most. So if you see my cheek, wherever that light is hitting, that's where you're going to want to focus your highlight. And then the glue is going to be the blush. The blush is literally going to combine those two, and just make everything flow evenly. So we love blush. Blush still has a purpose, like I said, and it just helps to bring that color back to your complexion. So yes. Yes. So I actually sent our professor some pictures and I wanted to show you guys kinds of some examples of like soft glam, okay? Or like full glam, like kind of when you need to turn it up, okay? So, Professor, we can start with Miss Kelly Rowland, okay? Our beautiful queen. And I really wanted to touch on her look and how it is expressed and what kind of look we would kind of categorize this as. Y'all, okay, so we see this lovely picture of Miss Kelly Rowland, and I really want you guys to look. Okay, fantastic. So now we can really get into her skin. Now, when you really look at her, look at like her forehead area, where you see the light hitting on her skin, you can still see through the makeup. Like, you can still slightly see like the texture in her skin, right? So I would say this look is going to be soft glam. Okay. And I'm going to break that down and why I say that. So, first is the skin. Okay. We can still see through to the skin enough to where somebody will probably be like, Kelly, your makeup looks amazing, but also like, Your skin is gorgeous. Okay. That's like top tier compliment when it comes to your makeup. Your skin looks amazing. Like, thank you. I'm glad that you can see the skin through it, right? So now when we look underneath, we're going to look around her eyes. So when it comes to her eyes, when you look below the eye, she has some coverage. So they did use some really beautiful highlighting to really make her eyes pop. She does have some coverage where we really can't see through the concealer, right? So that is also what's elevating it into that glam category. And whenever you look, like if you look at the colors that are used on her complexion, around the eyes and the cheeks, she looks, it's given bronze goddess, right? So the palette of colors that we're using are super neutral. And that's another reason why we say soft glam, because this look is super neutral and it's going to be able to go with so many different looks. Like she can actually use this, okay, if she has an event. Even if she wanted to elevate it and walk down the red carpet, she can still use this look. It's very versatile. Very, very versatile. And then as Professor next, we can take a look at Miss Portia. So, and the look for Miss Portia, I really wanted to show you guys is it's a little bit more full glam. And then I'm also going to kind of touch on that eyes, lips, face aspect that we kind of talked about earlier. And I think that's definitely going to give us a good example. And I hope you guys kind of saw what I was saying when it came to Miss Rowland. But okay, so we have a beautiful picture of Miss Portia. And I'm going to say, like, the housewives definitely kind of set the standard when it comes to full glam, okay? So when you look at her makeup, similar thing to what I was saying earlier, when you look at her skin, now I say this is more full glam because when you look at her skin, you can't see through it as much. A little bit on the forehead area, but if you look at the rest of her face, full glam, full coverage. And full coverage meaning you can't really see through it, right? Then when we go to her eyes, so if you look around the brows, she has that highlight. That highlight is popping. So that is a little bit elevated to really highlight like the brow bone. Okay. And then if you look at the eyeshadow, she has that really beautiful, like kind of golden bronze cut crease. Honestly, when you start cutting the crease, like it's giving full glam because it is like just bumping up the drama a little bit. But that definitely elevated this look. Then she has her wing liner and she has some bomb glam lashes on. Like the look is tea, honey. Like let's not get it twisted. And if you look at the lip, this is something when it comes to eyes, lip, face. So you see she has a glam eye, right? The eye is glam. This is still a full glam look. But then if you look at her lip, it's neutral. It's a really neutral lip. She has the beautiful brown liner with that kind of pink nude in the center so that her eyes and her lips are not fighting. Like she's letting the eyes have their moment. The lips are still giving what they need to give. And then she has the full coverage on the skin to just elevate the look even more. So that is going to be an example of like our full glam where you want to step it up a little bit more. So, and then I had one more picture that I wanted to show you guys. And this one is going to be a little bit more, it's going to be between natural glam and soft glam, right? So, this is Miss India Love, you guys. Love, love, love her. And I will say she is kind of an example. Like you usually see her like she has freckles on her skin, and usually when you see those freckles on her skin, like her natural freckles, and you can see through her makeup, that I would classify as like natural makeup. So here she has like medium coverage. You can still see through the skin, and the most of her coverage is underneath the eyes. Okay, so you guys are probably still seeing that as a trend. That's kind of what elevates the look or makes it a little bit more glam. It's that coverage, like the coverage on the skin. Like, can you see through it? Can you still see the skin? And she used very soft tones. around the eyes, still very neutral. And I want to say she gave us an example of like the brown liner because she does not have on black liner. And I want you to pay attention, you guys, of like how soft it looks. Like she looks very soft and pretty. Like her makeup usually is so tea. Like the skin always eats and we love it. We love it, love it, love it. So she probably has the softest look from the three examples that we had, you guys. So I hope that kind of like showed you guys the spectrum and just also kind of, I would say, explain what I meant when we talked about like eyes, lip, face. Like you can have your base, you can know your go-to products for your base, prepping your skin, but then you're gonna elevate the look by just adding a little bit of color, whether that be on your eyes, whether that be on your lips. Like today with my face, I kept my eyes neutral because I knew I wanted to wear this lipstick that would pop with my blazer. So I hope that makes sense, you guys. Um, Okay, we really went through skin, base, eyes, highlight, contour, blush. And I think the last couple things that I just wanted to touch on for you guys was going to be lips, setting the face, and your tools. So we're gonna wrap it up. I don't want to keep you guys here too long and I don't want to overload you guys, but I do want to make sure that you guys have like some foolproof tips on how to create your signature look. So you love this. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're loving this. Like I said, y'all keep the comments coming. Like if you need me to slow down or if you're like, okay, what do you mean when you say that? I'm looking at the comments, so you guys just let me know. So we're moving to lips. One of the best tips I can give you when it comes to your lips is you want to find a lip liner that you love that you can run to. For my brown skin girls, it's going to be a brown lip liner. You're literally going to have to, or you're definitely going to want to use that because you can switch it up. You can wear that with a red lipstick if you want to make it glam, with a neutral lip, just like we saw on India Love and on Portia. Okay. And even on Kelly Rowland, they all had different types of neutral lips, but they still had that beautiful outline that created definition. When you put your lip liner on, one of the best tips I can give you as well is to outline the lips. You're just following the natural shape of your lips, right? But then you're going to smack your lips together. Whenever you smack your lips together while you have that lip liner on, that's showing where your lips naturally meet. So that's going to give the look a little bit more customized. It's going to make it a little bit more customized to your features in the natural shape of your lips. Um, and find you a cute signature lipstick, one that's neutral, and then one that you can use to elevate your look, whether that's the red. I'm a fan of a good fuchsia. Like I love a pink lip as well. And a good gloss, something that you can layer, whether you want a matte lip with no shine or if you want some shine, if you want to add some shine to the lips. I think a brown lip liner. Like my all-time favorite brown lip liner is Chestnut Lip Liner by MAC. You guys, I wear that with any and everything. Okay, that liner and some gloss eats every time. Okay, so it's really just about finding what works for you and what you can use with any and everything, and then you can kind of interchange them as you go. Um, setting the face. So we have pressed powders and we have loose powders. Pressed powders, I will say, are softer, you guys. So for me, I do have drier skin. So I do like to use a pressed powder a lot of times to like set my T-zone area and underneath the eye. Like today I just used I use Studio Fix powder, which is a powder foundation, and I literally just stamp that underneath my eyes with my powder puff to set in place. Okay. But now the loose powder, whenever I'm doing more full glam or if I have more coverage or even if it's like super hot outside and I need my makeup not to budge, the loose powder is where I'm going to go because when you press that loose powder on your skin, because it's so soft and fine, it's going to lock in that liquid. going to literally sink into your makeup and keep it in place. Okay. The powder on top of the liquid is what is going to hold it. And then you also want to have a balm setting spray. So you want a finishing spray, something like that finishes off the makeup. Like, say you've already done your base, highlight, contour, blush, and you're like, I can still see where everything is, and I want it to melt together a little better. You're gonna want to have a balm finishing powder. The finishing powder is gonna be very close to your complexion, but something that you can put all over to soften any fine lines. My favorite is MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, but I know Sephora also has like the Micro Smooth powder, which is super similar to just dust off and blur any imperfections. So love it, and I can't live without that in my beauty process. And oh, setting spray. So we talked about the Fix Plus. Or we didn't get to talk about that, but that's what I wanted to tell you guys to tie it into finishing off the face. When you want to blur everything, using that finishing mist that more so hydrates, that makes your skin look like skin again, look especially if you've used powders, loose powders, setting pressed powders. You want your skin to still look like skin again. Okay, natural skin glows. So I know some people are like, I'm super oily. Listen, oiliness, like, it's fine. That's one thing. You definitely want to use your powders to kind of help with the shine, but you definitely want your skin to still look like skin. And then you also want a fixing spray, something that is going to lock your makeup into place and help with transfer. So, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go to our comments. Let me see. I feel the natural glam fits me more. I have hyperpigmentation, but also freckles that I love. Love it. And I love to see that skin with the freckles. Like, I love when I have somebody who has freckles or beauty marks, and I'm like, do we have to cover these? And they're like, no. I'm like, yes, okay, because people actually draw these on, and they're literally a work of art. So I can tell, like, definitely, I would agree. If I have freckles, I know, like, I would always go to the natural glam because I really want to be able to still showcase my natural freckles that God gave me. And she said, thank you. I'm trying to find a balance of color correcting the hyperpigmentation and having my freckles out. Although they're all over my face. Girl, I totally get it. And that kind of goes into when we were talking about having that color corrector. Of course, like, that's going to help with the hyperpigmentation. But when I was saying having like two types of concealer, like one that's going to be close to your complexion and the other one that's going to highlight more. And also, there are different types of coverage when it comes to concealer. So I know a lot of like radiant concealers, like concealers that might be hydrating, are more buildable, meaning you can just use a little bit and it's not going to cover everything. So that's another tip. Like, your concealers are going to have different coverage as well. And oh yes, setting in place. I have the Estee Lauder foundation and concealer, and whenever I put powder underneath, it crumbles. How can I combat this? So I will tell you, if you're using Estee Lauder foundation and concealer, now I want to know if you're using like the double wear. If you're using double wear, I can tell you right now what's happening. But let me know if you're not using double wear, if you're using something radiant. If you're using double wear and you put the powder under, let me know if you're using the powder underneath the actual makeup. Let me see how I get to the skin tones. Um, so she said, whenever I put the powder underneath, it crumbles. Now, if you're putting that on before you putting like your products, your foundation and your concealer on top, those products are super matte. That Estee Lauder Double Wear, super full coverage, and they are really matte. So remember we were talking about using that loose powder to set. So if you already have something on your skin that's like taking away any shine, any oil, or you've already prepped your skin and you're putting a powder and then you're putting that makeup on top, it's clinging onto the powder. The foundation or your makeup is probably crumbling because when it clings on to that powder, it's like it has nowhere to go. So you're probably trying to blend it and it's still like, no, we're set right here. Yes, tell me, like she said, I've tried to color correct and then set with powder before foundation. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. So you're color correcting and then you're setting with the powder and then you're going in with your foundation and it's crumbling. Understood. So one, Jazz, what I'm gonna tell you, and I love your name, Jazz Love Jesus. That's so cute. Yeah, I love Jesus too. And what I would tell you, Jazz, whenever you're color correcting, you don't need a lot of color corrector. Um, that is like a sign that you're using too much. If you are using too much color corrector and you can see it through your makeup, you might have a lot, like too much on. Use just a little bit, like literally a smidget, and you're going to just tap it in place. When you tap the color corrector, this goes for color corrector, foundation, concealer. When you tap it in place, that's going to give you better coverage. Use just a little bit. If you're using just a little bit, you shouldn't need to set it with powder. Now, if you do feel like you have to set it with powder, don't use a powder puff to press it. Because like I said, your makeup is going to cling to it when you put it on top. But you're just going to dust a light powder, or even if you have like a hydrating powder, you can use that to kind of set your color correcting in place as well. So I hope that helps, girl, because um when you have that powder, just know that it's kind of like counteracting your skin prep, the way that you prepped your skin. So it clings. Yeah, for sure. Tap the color corrector and just a little bit at a time, babes. I think that's going to make a world of a difference for you. For sure. For sure. Okay, guys. And I think we really like covered some good ground. We really went through a lot. We went through a lot. Yes, dust it. But what I would say, next time you do your makeup, or even if you want to practice on your makeup, try not using a setting powder. Try to skip it. I know it probably sounds weird. You're like, no, but I don't want to mix. If you're using a little bit, it should mix in with your foundation. And once you get down to that portion, like where the hyperpigmentation is, once you're blending your foundation, you want to more so tap it in instead of sweep so it doesn't blend together. Perfect. You are so welcome, love. You are so welcome. Perfect, perfect. And guys, if you all have any other questions, let me see. Ebony says she has issues with her eyeshadow creasing. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, Ebony. So when it comes to creasing on your eyeshadow, you're really gonna want to. Ooh, sorry, I feel like I have a little lipstick on my teeth, you guys. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. But when it comes to your eyeshadow, if it's creasing, that means we have to fix your base, hun. So, are you using an eyeshadow primer or are you using a concealer? So, and I'm gonna just let's default to concealer. If you're using a primer that's like perfect, just use a little bit and blend it all over. You don't want to use a lot of product on your eye because it moves, right? Our eyes open and close, so there's naturally a fold in the skin. Okay. Same with underneath and around our eyes. A lot of people deal with creasing under the eyes. Our eyes are movable. I know I probably look weird do that, but our eyes are movable. So, with that being said, there will be creases from the movement. But to combat the creasing on the eyeshadow, what you're going to want to do if you use, she said concealer doesn't work for her. Um, it's a good primer. Her eyes hold oil. A good eyeshadow primer. And I know y'all probably like, she's giving me all these MAC recommendations, but I'm telling you, like, the products are quality and I know them because I deal with them every day and I have them in my kit. But I love the paint pots. So, one paint pot that I love is called Laying Low. Of course, you guys have probably seen like the painterly eyeshadow. That one has been like trending all over. People using that in their creases, like for their like smile lines, around the eyes as well. But using a paint pot because it is a cream eyeshadow base. So you can use that underneath your eyeshadow, but you can also use it as eyeshadow because they have like in a range of colors. They have neutral options as well. But yes, paint pot, laying low, you just want a very, very little bit. And because your eyes move and crease, you don't want a lot. Once you start putting on too much product on top of those fine lines, it starts to bunch into the crease. So when you're using a little bit of product, you don't have enough product to really bunch up, right? Once you've used a little bit of that product, you just want to make sure it's blended and very smooth across the eye. I would use a fluffy brush, like a small fluffy brush, to really just smooth out and make sure nothing is settling in the creases. With that product, with that paint pot, that eyeshadow base, you don't have to set it. It is self-setting. It is self-setting. So, and I hope that helps, especially since I know you don't use concealer, so I didn't have to touch on that part. But that eyeshadow primer, that is an amazing recommendation I would give to you. And I believe NYX has an eyeshadow primer as well. That one is really good. But one thing I'm always going to tell you guys, a little bit at a time. It's just when it comes to your product application, using a little bit at a time so that you can kind of build onto it. It's always easier to add more than it is to take away. So a little bit at a time, I think that's going to help as well. Guys, I hope that helps you guys. We really just broke down an entire full face, like all the elements, like to have like a very solid full face. And I hope this helps you guys when it comes to creating your signature look as well. Is there, and then just let me know, guys, if there's anything else that I can touch on that I can share with you guys. Um, or just, any other tools that I can add to your tool belt whenever we're just talking about our makeup, especially as our super suit, right? So hopefully I touched on everything for you guys. And then let's see. As a chocolate girl, how do we make the bright colors pop? This is a great, great question. And I'm assuming that you're talking about eyeshadow. So when you're talking about eyeshadow and you really want to make those colors pop, it comes to the base. So the color that I was telling you guys about, laying low, that is an amazing color. You can definitely, I love it for brown skin. I love it on my eyes and on my complexion. It definitely allows me to put whatever color I need on top of it. Mind you, it does have like a slight pink undertone. Now, say like you're trying to glam it up and you might be using like yellows or blue, need to like pop. I would go to that painterly color, that painterly paint pot color that I was telling you about. Because what that's gonna be is a little bit closer to white. Because whenever we put things on top of the color white, it shows up truest for that color. It doesn't really add a shade or a shadow or tint to the color. So it's the base. Using a very light base, or the eyeshadow primer works as well, but you're probably going to want an eyeshadow primer that has a very light tint and that is opaque, that you can't really see through, because then it's going to blend into your complexion. So when you really want those colors to pop, you just want to make sure you have a really good base. Awesome, awesome. Yes. And thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks, Jazz. Thanks, Nurse Sapphire. I appreciate y'all actually participating. I appreciate y'all asking me questions. Like, I can't wait to see the looks. I can't wait to get into the makeup tea, the signature looks, you guys. I'm super excited for you all. Gosh, you are so welcome, love. So, so welcome. Okay, so I think that was pretty much everything. And I think I'm gonna turn it back over to Professor Antoinette. If she can hear me. I think she's still on with us. So
I'm on. I'm trying to click
I'm on.
buttons, trying to figure
Yeah.
it all out. So awesome, awesome, Kaylee. You were amazing. That was so informative. Everyone who participated, you're absolutely getting extra credit. For the girls who, you know your names, came from Instagram over to YouTube because we want Professor Kaylee to be able to see your comments in real time. While she's new here to you, she also won't be able to see anything that you say on Instagram without me relaying it. So when we have a guest professor, make sure you guys are jumping onto YouTube like you just did. Aced it. Kaylee's, I have some fun little questions for you that
Absolutely.
may help the girls maybe get to know you more and your makeup style. So
Yes, ma'am.
quick fire.
Let's do
Perfect.
it.
Perfect. And guys, you guys can feel free to answer any of the questions in the chat that I'm gonna ask Kaylee's. So, first question: if you could only wear one makeup product for a month, which would it be and why?
Ooh, girl, that is such a good question. Makeup, so I'm gonna assume it doesn't include skincare because I need that.
Nope, nope. One makeup product for a month, and what would it be and why?
One makeup product, I would say probably my Bobbi Brown lip serum. Oh my goodness. Like I love that. I need my lips to be shining. Like I need them to look hydrated. That is probably like the thing I have to have because especially if the skin is doing what it needs to do. I think we're good. It would be between that and my Max Act Elevated mascara. Like we love a good mascara and it
Oh,
brings out the eyes.
okay, I like that answer. Okay, because you're
Yeah.
complimenting a fresh face. That's all we got. We can't walk around with gold eyelids and no makeup. So,
You know.
okay, period. Are you prepared? Did I tell you these questions beforehand? I think not.
Not at all. Not at all. I just know if I was gonna go to that island and I had to bring one thing.
I got you. I got you. Okay, I have another question. I'm going to put it on the screen and I'm also, of course, going to tell you aloud. Here we go. So, bold lip or eye? What's your go to and what does it say about you? Hmm.
Ooh, I love that question. Bold lip or bold eye? As for me, I am a bold lip girl. Definitely a bold lip. I love a bold eye, but I think sometimes because my eyes are just a little bit smaller, like sometimes when I have a lot going
Mm-hmm.
on, they kind of get lost, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Um, but I love a bold lip to just bring any look together. I love it.
Okay. Okay. I like that answer. Okay. Period. All right. Next question. So, natural versus glam. Which look makes you feel the most powerful?
Ooh, natural or glam? Trying to think which one makes me feel like I can like just take on the world. I would say I would honestly probably say natural glam.
Okay.
And that might not be like a popular answer, but I say that because natural glam, when I'm doing like a natural glam look, I'm truly honing in on like my natural features. I'm not really bringing any attention or extra attention to like the glam. So I know earlier I talked about like I think it's such a like your skin looks good. I'm like, thank you. But when I feel amazing is when I feel like when I have my skin glowing, I have those neutral colors just to show off what like God gave me. Like I think that's when I feel super powerful.
Okay. Okay. I have another question. I'm not going to put it on the screen just because I don't have it worded correctly. But I want to ask you, so when it comes to wearing makeup, as a makeup
Mhm.
girly, I believe there needs to be a balance. You did touch on natural makeup and skincare and how important that is. And then
Mhm.
Kaylee's is someone that you guys have to follow as well on social media. She has a TikTok and she has an Instagram. And is there any other handle that I'm leaving out, by the way?
I'm on Facebook as well. Like I'm on Facebook as well. And it's my first and last name, Kaylee Smith.
Okay, okay. And then I'm seeing Love Lisa K as your official TikTok and Insta handle. True?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
let me
true.
type
That's
that.
me.
Love Lisa K. Okay, period. Let me put that on your screen. And I'm going to ask you one more question. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
guys for
Go for
waiting.
it.
And let me go ahead and maximize you so they can get a nice view of that handle as they go and rummage the internet to
Follow
hit the follow button right
me.
now. Smash the follow button for Kaylee's. So here's the question. So, in regards to confidence, let me make sure I didn't lose it. Here we go. In regards to confidence in makeup, does wearing makeup affect confidence in terms of how you either see yourself or how you see others? Just answer the question as best as you can with your understanding of the question. Does wearing makeup affect your confidence when it comes to either how you see yourself or how you see others? But how does wearing makeup affect your confidence, if any?
Absolutely. So I think that's an amazing question. First off, I think that makeup does help with your confidence. I think that it does raise your confidence levels. And I think that in a sense of think about like whenever we have like our first day of school and you lay those clothes out on the bed, like you're like, man, first day is gonna be lit. Like I have what I need. I have a look together. And I think when you put that look together, and just like for me, if I get a new lipstick, I'm like, girl, I don't know what they're gonna do with me. Like because it's going into my whole look. So I think when it comes to self, I think it does help with confidence. Now, I don't think it's needed to boost confidence, but it never hurts. It never hurts to really like have a look come together. And your makeup is included in that.
Beautiful. I love that. I also want to have you look at the same question, but in a negative connotation. If you are someone who is wearing makeup, how could it maybe negatively impact your confidence? Maybe relating to how often you're wearing it, who you're wearing it around versus not wearing it around. And any personal like experiences you have or stories you can tell of other people since you
Yes,
work in this arena.
absolutely. That's a great question as well. Some things that I see when I notice it's having a negative impact is when you feel like you cannot leave the house without your foundation, your concealer. When you feel like you can't show up authentically as yourself and take on whatever the day has for you if you don't have a full beat on. Because, and I will continue to stress this, and I love that you opened up with that as well, Professor, that this your makeup is not a mask. Like we're not putting this on to hide who you are. It's amplifying who you are. So I know when I hear those stories of like, when I'm talking to them in the store and they're like, baby, my husband has never seen me without my makeup. I'm like, so like, do y'all really know each other like that? Because you should not be using your makeup to hide who you truly are. Definitely, it's a weapon and not a mask. I love that so much. So that's what I would say when it's like a crutch, when you feel like it's like, oh well, I got to put my mask on so I can go take on the day. Like no, like you should be comfortable and you should also give yourself that room to love how you look without your makeup. So I know I have those days. I love when I don't have to go to work and I might be running errands. I'm like, okay, I'm about to let my skin breathe. The skin is looking good. The skin routine has been hitting. I could just throw some gloss on, some mascara, and go. So I would say that when you feel like you cannot go places without your makeup, or you feel like you don't want people to see you without your makeup, that's when it's becoming, or that's when it's having like a negative effect on you and your confidence.
Good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you so much for letting me torture you with questions. Your answers were so amazing and very impactful. I'm sure there are a lot of women who heard what you said and felt it and maybe are making some changes and slowly maybe wiping the glam off, letting their skin
Yes,
breathe, working on that skincare routine, even building one. So I
for
love that.
sure.
T, you ate so, so,
Yeah,
so bad that I don't even remember how to do this. I just did this because I'm in awe of you. Class was amazing. It was so in depth. I didn't even realize how far you were gonna go into the glam, and we appreciate you so, so much. We can't wait to have more of you in the fall.
for
And you
sure.
guys, do not forget to smash the follow button for Kaylee's. Class is over. I'm just gonna go over homework, but I mean, she ate down. So I mean, give her
Praise
her
God.
tens. Thank you, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for giving me the time and allowing me to actually come and talk to you. I appreciate
Period.
y'all.
We're glad we're here. Listen, all the information. Period. Thank you, girl.
Yes. You're so welcome.
All right, guys. So let's quickly go over homework and we're out of here. Attendance is what it is. If you made it, you made it. If you didn't, you didn't. Let's quickly go over homework. YouTube fam, Instagram fam. Let me check in with you guys. Did you miss me? Probably not because Kaylee's did her big one. I told you we've had so many new surprises that is unraveling as Glam Girl 101 just keeps going on and on. So just imagine what's going to happen in the fall. This was a teaser. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me go ahead and check the chat, see if you guys are saying anything. Looks like you guys are saying some fun things about Kaylee's and thankfulness. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, homework, it's a new week. What happens in a new week? We have new assignments, my dear. So, homework this week is the following. Let's see. Let's see. I kept saying week 4. We're in week 5. I know I've been sick, but I think my brain is back on Friday. Hello. Now that I am consciously aware, and words are hard, that we are on week 5, hello. Homework is this: do your makeup every day and take a picture or video. Crazy. So, I'm going to be looking, I'm going to be watching. And what I'm expecting is this: you can absolutely make a dedicated post, but it has to be at least a story, at least a story. In order for you to get full credit of your homework, I need to see in real time your makeup. Don't DM me, don't DM me, don't DM me, don't DM me, because it doesn't count. A story, a dedicated story of your makeup. I want to see your makeup. Now, I will say there are options where you can post your story and you can put your close friends in your story. If you don't want to show everybody your makeup every day, or if you're not confident in your makeup skills every day, if you are working on your makeup skills and you don't actively wear makeup out every day, depending on your job position too, there is something where the girls are practicing their makeup skills before bed and then they're washing it off and showering. I don't know the term, but there is one, but basically it's to practice their skills and just to elevate it so that when they do their makeup to go out instead of to wash it off, it's ready. Okay? The practice is done and it's game time and they're ready to roll. So you can try that, but either way, there are a bunch of days in the week and I'm expecting to see some beat faces, whether it is like concealer, mascara, lip gloss, or it is absolutely glam, glam, and more glam, even soft glam. I want to see it all. So make sure you're posting your makeup every single day. I will repeat because I'm not taking anybody failing this week. We only have one more week after this. This course is a 6-week course. We're almost done with this. Crazy. Graduation's around the corner. So do your homework. Do your makeup every day and take a picture or a video. Make sure you at your girl so I know you did it. Thank you. Class was epic. I'm still a little sicky, so excuse the halls. I am not eating candy. I'm trying to get well so I don't choke and cough and sneeze everywhere. Bye. Thank you.